So we're all eager to really listen. Sister Anu, can you stop sharing that? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So welcome to this episode on eagerness, and we are very eager to listen to our dear sisters. All of you know very well Sister Jenna. She doesn't need any introduction. But we have with us Sister Krina, who's joining all the way again from Mumbai. Welcome to you, sister. And she has been associated with the Brahma Kumaris for almost last 50 years now. And she has dedicated since the past 38 to 40 years. And she has been participating, or she had actually, in the 4 United Nations projects. All of you are aware of the Million Minutes of Peace Appeal and the Global Cooperation for Better World. And we are very thankful to both of them to pitch into the last minute changes of speakers. A big thank you to both of you. And all of you know Sister Jenna. I have seen her now in person very much Indian. That's what we were discussing a lot about. And she is really running this program of America Meditating and the museum as well in Washington, D.C. So it was wonderful to be a part of the family there. So without much ado, I have to catch my flight in next few minutes. So I'll be just speaking about the poem, and then the stage is all of Sister Anu and Sister Claudia. So as always, both of them shall share their wisdom on eagerness and indeed show us the true path towards wellness. Inculcating virtues in our life is indeed only for our betterness, which makes us free from the ugly clutches of bitterness. So now let's try to live in life with the constant soul awareness that indeed takes us away from the body conscious madness. You know, many say life indeed feels like a burden and a big illness. That's because they haven't realized the depth of the soul's fineness. So let's all come together and take out time from our busyness, try to experience the soothing touch of easiness and eagerness with them. So with this, I would like to invite Sister Claudia to please welcome them officially with flowers, as always she does. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon for some, and good evening for Sister Krina, who is way in India. So it's a pleasure to have both of you with us today. And like Manoj said, we are eager to hear what you are going to teach us today. So I like to offer you some flowers for you. This is the time of spring here. The flowers are just for you, for both of you. So enjoy the colorful of the pink. I thought when I saw this, this is like the sisters. So then I said, I will get this pink. It looks very nice. So thank you for being with us today. And we are just looking forward to hear from both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Om Shanti to my dear friend Krina. I've been eagerly waiting to have such a time with you, somebody that is just so experienced and has done so much in her spiritual journey. And for you to be interviewing me, well, that's a turn of the tables, but looking forward to our time together.
I feel so honored today to be amongst such wise group of Brahmins, as well as the ones who are listening. Maybe they have been participating over a long period of time now. So I'm sure they're enjoying themselves through these sessions. And I look forward to have another very interesting session, because the value itself is fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, at first, when Dr. Manoj had offered us the opportunity to sit in for the illustrious Mike George, who was going to cover this session, for a while, you know, Krina and everyone, I was saying, what do I know about eagerness? I'm not an eager person. I'm enthusiastic, but I don't think I'm eager. But as I kept going deeper into it, and my brother Santosh was saying, my gosh, you're the epitome of eagerness. You're always living towards the future. What next? What next? What next? I said, wow, I can't wait to see what's going to unfold. And I just want to share with everyone in the Spirituality and Values Forum that's been traveling with us for quite some time. You know, you might be learning a lot by each of the speakers that come on this illustrious platform. And I want to tell you, we too are learning a lot by being
Yes.
invited, yeah, to just talk and to go deeper in. So let's see what the universe is going to open up for us today, huh?
Oh, very true. Very true. So I was also looking back at my life pattern, and I was trying to see, okay, even before becoming spiritual, I just being like a normal person as everybody is, I was seeing at that I was in my teens. So I just searched where I was eager. And I saw that eagerness worked only towards my friends, you know. And I was eager to meet my friends, to be with my friends, and gradually the world became my friends. So what I brought out of that is when something becomes like your world, then you're very eager for that particular aspect. Like you don't need extra energy from outside to work on eagerness. But after becoming spiritual, I still look back at those days when I was growing spiritually, and I saw that in my life pattern again, it was my one of the aspects was my connection with the younger sisters who were there at the center with me, or in few other centers, and their communication and their relationship with me enabled me to grow spiritually. And therefore, anytime I had to meet them, I had to be with them, I had to converse with them, I would really be eager. And with the growth, I could feel natural happiness in myself. So again, I experienced eagerness in that aspect more than anything else. Other aspects there was, but not so much clear as when I used to be with my, center younger spiritual sisters. Wherever I was with them, I found myself working with the value of eagerness. So from this, I really want to come to this point that I feel that it was also an emotion more than a value. Eagerness was like an emotion, and for me, it has been a very positive one. So what is your perception for this?
It was great to hear your story on that end. And I was chuckling in my mind, smiling in my mind. When I was younger, my eagerness was to make my first million by the time I was 21. It's interesting how we all, focus on different things, but yet the values or the virtues or the anxiety, whatever you want to call it, is in all of us. It's just directed in a particular way. I have to share that in my moments of being eager, and let me see if I can simplify what I'm about to pull out of my personality here that's been traveling for a very long time. There's something recorded inside. I'm going to speak for myself, but I'd like to invite everyone to think from that place. Like, what if there is a recording inside of you and me? And I think innately that eagerness wishes to keep getting to that next stage of its life. It needs to reach to that next dimension, next experience. It wants to reach to that next scene that is supposed to, that will, that must give me joy, satisfaction. pleasure, more growth and enthusiasm to keep moving forward. When I look inside of this soul from a teenager, I was always eager to see what next, like what more can come out of this being. And of course, when I got into the path of the Brahma Kumaris, Raj Yoga meditation, the eagerness, of course, became more spiritualized, where it became like a spiritual intoxication, you know, that I wanted to feel the essence of God's purity on my spirit. There is this energy of God that exists on the planet, and I'm eager to not only connect, but to live in that connection with this energy. I've been eager for that, especially after coming to Raj Yoga. When that awakening started to happen, Krina Ben, inside of me, I could see where this recording that is in the soul already kept pulling me. Like I was eager to, wow, let me share with you what I'm feeling in this energy of God's light. Let me share with you a wisdom that can help to keep this connection to God's light. Can I explain to you how when you eat well and you eat without hurting the animals, what that means for you karmically? I was so eager, Krina, to somehow bring more light to the world. Can you imagine from the early days, I was eager to make $1 million before I was 21. When my spiritual awakening occurred, I became eager to let me feel more what this light offers, this energy of God. I know I'm supposed to become the embodiment of this energy. So I say that to all of you in this part, that I deeply believe that all of us have a recording of a future that is sitting in the soul, subtly pulling us into a future, and it's connected to that eagerness as a value. Is the eagerness an emotion? I think it has a dash of emotion in it. I think there's an aspect of an innate knowing, an innate wisdom of the Atma, with a little sprinkle of a little emotion, a little push,
Yes.
a little intoxication. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Were you curious about knowing God or coming closer to God? Because I feel somewhere curiosity takes you towards eagerness. Is it like that?
I think they're connected. I think they're related, no doubt. I don't know if I'll be able to give you the right wordings now because I have more maturity in understanding where I am now and where I was then. But in my younger days, I didn't think I was eager to know God. I felt that God's energy was with me. Like I felt there was always a protection around me, that I was protected by something, by someone. And so I wasn't eager to know anything until my parents began to give me some knowledge about the energy of the soul, to become more soul conscious and tap into your original virtues and powers. And they started to tell me about the energy of God, that when I connect to this energy, it amplifies more of my qualities. And then they started to tell me about the importance of my choices, that if you make good choices, you will walk into something good. I think I was very eager and curious to see if that was true. Because it gets complicated, Krina, and maybe you can tap into a little bit and highlight more of what I'm going to say. Many of us do a lot of good in the world, but still things that are challenging occur in our lives. And it can make you very confused, or it makes life feel like it's complicated. You go, I've been such a good person. Why are these things happening to me? Or there's some people that you might look at and say, gosh, I know that person has been so unkind to their mother, and yet look how abundant and how great everything is for them. So I became more eager in trying to understand the significance of karma. And my curiosity became increased as well. And it took me down another pathway, of course, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts might be on that.
I feel curiosity, as it is said, is a mother of creation. It's a mother of creativity. So until our mind and intellect is not creative, I don't think so we are eager to do anything. See, something from your originality has to work to feel eager. If you're drawn by only things and people and such a thing, then your eagerness will be very limited, not giving you the experience of the richness within, Like you said, you wanted to become a millionaire by age of 21. So there also the eagerness was working, but it's only to a limited, which you understood later. You started taking your path towards things that were more everlasting, for you. So I feel that curiosity is important.
Yeah.
If I have to be eager, because curiosity creates that creativity in me, which leads to eagerness more.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there's such a fine line between, am I really eager? I mean, that energy of enthusiasm, looking forward to the next scene, or is it a desire that is unfulfilled in the soul? So there's like this very fine line. Is it a desire, which is from the past, or is it eagerness, which is a pull into the future? And that's where I think in the middle of that, you need discernment, enough information and experience about the soul, God, karma, time. And as I grow older on this path and every day it becomes a learning experience, my discernment has to keep being refined and increasing, because as I go deeper into the personality of the soul that I am, it becomes more subtle. It becomes a lot more subtler to really understand, is this truth or am I being deceived? Is this an illusion or is this infinite or eternal? And I'm eager to find out that answer. So I think that eagerness can definitely, you can always trust that your eagerness will lead you towards solutions and new realities, but your desires will take you further into a trap and a bondage where you begin to feel like things are more difficult for you. I think that's an important point for us to keep a place mark at.
Yes, I would like to share an experience of a management consultant who, like you, wanted to win the world, in his 20s. And by the age of 29, he had done everything possible, more than what he had imagined. And his house was always full of parties, whenever he would come back home. And this one day when he came back home, and suddenly he felt that I just don't feel like being in this party. And he just went up, and there was an attic in his house, and he sat there thinking, why am I not feeling happy? Why I don't want to be a part of this party, which I normally do? And why am I feeling so different? So this is the curiosity that began in him, that asked him this question, why? And that was the time when he had to look into a different dimension, a little higher than what he was actually working in. So sometimes curiosity really works well for, creating that eagerness in you to go above, a little above than where you are at present.
Very nice story. I'm going to continue with that narrative about the eagerness and the desire, because I think they are so subtly and so intricately intertwined that you have to recognize which one is which for you. But you see, if that eagerness doesn't take you towards some level of solution or growth
Yes.
and development,
Growth
you
and
start to
development.
you start to really develop this frustration or disheartenment or disappointment or anxiety or just plain exhausted from feeling like you're not going. And that's where I really want to point out to everyone, check if it could not be eagerness. It could be that desire, that's
Yes.
actually putting you back into that place, into that discomfort, which has you feeling very trapped, very uncertain, very confused about you wanting to progress. Sometimes we try particular methods to move forward in life, and we're not certain that it's coming from my preordained future that is destined for me, or that, that element of experiences that I didn't get, that I wanted to get, that is connected now to this frustrated energy of a desire that just makes everything so challenging to attain. And so again, I want to emphasize that. So your story with the man who has everything, and I want to add to this. So here he has everything, and he's had so many parties, done so much, but there's a time limit too. Haven't you seen, Krina, that there's some connection to eagerness and even a time, the time for something to happen for me? Like there are times everything is great, and all of a sudden, bam, you drop into a hole and you don't know why. There's a time where things have not been good, and all of a sudden, all of that bottled up energy to be eager enough to break free, to find your freedom, the time comes and it says, oh, here it is now. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It is a part of everybody's life.
Yeah.
It's like a success curve which drops at a particular point of time. Because
Yeah.
what we say is, that the curve, the success is also very exponential in nature. So when it reaches a particular point, it has to drop somewhere, So that again, our learning, our curiosity to find a new path,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
that value helps us to come back and reach another success curve in life. And this is a continuous process in living. Only we need to enjoy it.
Something that I've been noticing as a result of the pandemic, where the whole world paused for quite a number of months, which went
Yes.
into years, many people were now just with themselves or with their families or with roommates and the computer or a pet. And I think it reached a point where there was a kind of a frustrated energy that kind of wanted souls to break out of this. So there was, I think, one of the most amplified values or virtues during the pandemic was eagerness. That there was a feeling
Yes.
that people were beginning to experience inside of the soul. There's got to be more to my life than this. Did you remember those few years of the pandemic? There's
Yes.
got to be more to me. Or am I really doing what is right for me? Is this really for me? That whole eagerness kept bubbling inside of people so much.
Yes.
And
And
I
even
used to be,
spiritual people,
of
even
course,
spiritual people,
of
they
course.
had this feeling, what next? If this such a period has come, what next is laid for us? How we have to turn our way of efforts and say service. We
Yeah.
also had this.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And when I speak of spiritual, for those of you who might have joined for the first time, or for those of you who are on your journey and you've just began, my differentiation of a so-called spiritual person versus a person who is trying to get onto the path of spirituality is that a spiritual person has a little bit more insight into their own strengths and weaknesses. That's it for me. That I'm just aware of where my shortcomings are more. So then I can apply the tools needed to strengthen my inner experiences and my delivery in life, the way that I want to contribute to life. So just remember that if you're spiritual, it doesn't mean you just put on a white sari and a badge, or you're a Buddhist or a Jew or somebody like that. You've taken the time to understand yourself a little more than maybe others who might be thinking about this one, that one, how much money, clothes, hair, makeup, this. A lot of that energy gets more focused on self-development. So that's the difference. That's a difference. So I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to
I mean,
point
it
that
was,
out.
yeah, it was really nice because maybe some would feel that, they're just talking from the spiritual perspective, which we may not
Yeah.
understand, but you really help them to understand that, even to see from a spiritual point of view is so much human,
Yeah.
to see your own strengths, to know your own weaknesses. And this is a integral part as a human being. Thank you, Jainaben.
Very true.
I think eagerness also has connection with willingness.
Mm. Yeah, they're definitely partners in crime. It's like they both are needed. What I've learned,
It's like the
everyone,
commitment, something like that.
it is. What I've learned in my journey is the nature of the soul is to progress. The soul doesn't want to step back. It never wants to lose. And sometimes I think if you have at least the willingness to progress and to move forward, ego will be right there to help to support you. It won't leave you alone. And I feel that as we develop internally and you accept in your own life, you must accept this energy of the soul, this being of light behind your eyes, having a really deep, intimate connection with God, the supreme energy. You will be willing to get up and get going. And there will be this energy of looking forward to something, not out of an expectation. Expectation, again, is connected to desire. Desire is connected to attachment and ego. Well, that goes a whole bag of stuff that gets confusing. But to know that inside of the soul, there's a fundamental, eternal connection between the soul and the supreme power. And when that connection between the soul and God has been forgotten or broken over a long period of time, you better believe there should be 8 billion souls in the world right now, eager to make that reconnection because they're aware that there's benefit in this connection, and that by establishing this connection between the self and God intimately will progress your spirit. And so everybody has that vibration. And the only reason why willingness and eagerness might not be in your equation is because you're still at the surface of your existence. You might still be just looking at your name, your gender, the color of your skin. In America, there's a lot of challenge about racism here and classism. But one of the things that you've heard about African Americans have educated me to say that souls who are Caucasian with white bodies in America walk around with this sense of privilege. I couldn't understand what they meant. What do you mean white people walk around with privilege? Then as I started to mature and I realized, wow, my life is really a blessed life. I have a lot of things many people haven't had or been exposed to. And then it's privilege that things keep coming to you easily versus if you keep making effort for everything. And the reason why everything seems so challenging is because you have the idea, the color of my skin, because of my religion, because I'm an immigrant, so many limitations that we put on our souls that really makes things difficult for us. But within that, we're so eager to get out of it. And I think when we apply the virtue of eagerness, connect it to your intimacy to God. connect your eagerness to envisioning your belonging to all of humanity, because the experience you're getting from God is making your spirit so generous that wherever you go, people will feel a deep sense of belonging to you. There's so many gifts in these virtues and values, Krina, that I can see how beneficial they would be if we were to apply them more and more.
Yes. In today's corporate world, they teach that if you want to be eager to achieve your targets, then there should be stress. And the stress will lead to more anxiousness, no? So really, that's the way a person will be more ego? What do you think?
Well, what's the condition of the corporate sector of society?
Yes.
They're not doing so well emotionally, or physically. So I won't answer that because I think that makes no sense. I think what they're trying to communicate to their staff and their employees is be driven and be inspired to not only build yourself up, because if you're building yourself up, I know you will build our company up. And I think many people in the corporate sector might just require someone like you to come in and remind them that if they want their company to thrive and to become a multi-billion-dollar company, then have people guide your employees to work on their self-development so that they're satisfied and contented in their jobs and they're able to do their jobs more effectively. So that will be my response in the corporate sector for sure.
Today I had a program, with the company employees, and my talk was the last one at the end of the day. And you can imagine, with all the statistics and all their problems and all the different areas of their work, they were loaded with so much of information. And at the end, I was just there in front of them, and I just felt that the aim in today is to just let loose of their tightness and the stress that they have gone through, and just let them have the vibrations of, what is called as being cool, calm, positive, stress-free, just relax. And really, I felt that was the only thing I had to pass to them there, because maybe information was already there, so much of information, but what they required at the level of the spirit.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful experience.
I'm sure. And I hate to be the last after a conference. I know what that feels
Yes.
like. I am never eager to be the last at a conference. But maybe what we can do now is to pause for some meditation and just reflect on the beautiful words of wisdom through Sister Krina. And if you've picked up anything that I've shared, how is that going to help you to really balance out your eager and willingness, your curiosity and eagerness, or your ability to be discerning? Is this eagerness or is this a desire? So let's take some time and just go into a meditation together, and we'll definitely be able to continue our conversation.
the one receiving energy from the source. Silence. Silence heals original peace within. Silence teaches me how to listen, guides me. Stay in silence and make yourself free. Go deep, so quiet. The soul becomes still. Silence of the soul. Stillness. The deep experience of silence. Silence cannot be shaken. Filling with truth and love. In silence, God works on the soul. Changes the soul. Gives strength. No thoughts, only soothing silence. Stillness beyond. In this world, but not of this world.
Om Shanti. it's interesting. Many times when we guide souls in meditation, one of the things that we share with souls, don't be so eager to gain an experience in meditation. Just trust that what you're supposed to experience will emerge. So I think that when it comes on to a deeper reflective process with the soul, or in meditation, eagerness is not the value that you need. You would need trust. But when it comes to connecting the dots of life, connecting with people, getting assignments completed, achieving a deadline or goal, that eagerness pulls you because the vision in your head is saying that has to get done. That has to be completed. Don't forget to apologize to this one. It's like it's just a vision in you. It pulls you. When it comes to your meditation between the soul and God, it just is. It's more of the value of surrender, trust, and letting go. So, Krina, I hope everybody enjoyed that meditation that we just did together.
I'm sure. Sorry, I have to find Sabrina. Yeah. Okay. So, sister, okay? Maybe did you leave the session? No, you were co-host. You
No,
can
she's there. She's there.
You can unmute your This is a different one. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now it's done. So
Okay.
yes, it was wonderful. It was wonderful to dive deep in midst of a conversation and feel your stillness within. You should love. I mean, that's what I felt, that you should love in a second to just be in deep silence or stillness. And you should love coming back into sound where you are eager to feel good about yourself and others. This is what I felt from the practice of meditation at this time, this moment.
And you heard what I was sharing, right? That you don't ever go into meditation with that eagerness. That's not the best quality.
I think it's a natural state of mind that is being taught through meditation. It's like a natural state where you have to practice with the method of meditation, natural state of your mind. So I think everyone will be eager to feel that. That eagerness would not be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to use eagerness in going into the experience. I kind of use the value of trust, because what if I don't gain an experience,
Okay.
But I feel that everyone, I mean, I'd be curious to hear what some of the viewers are feeling as well, if they want to, in the chat box. But Krina, I mean, what a value to acknowledge 8 billion souls on the planet are all, whether publicly or privately, eager to have a better version of themselves, to be loved.
Absolutely.
To give love, to be at peace with themselves, to share peace. It's a big thing.
It's a big thing, but it has started in a small way. Like, for example, after the Twin Tower happening, people got together.
Yeah.
They made that spot for a prayer. Even those who were not praying earlier, they wanted to come and stand together for the prayer. So they are trying to use eagerness in a very nice way, maybe for a little time, for a little span of time. But then we hope that time increases the eagerness to become your better version and helping others also, praying for
Yeah.
others. And that's beautiful.
Yeah. It always feels like this energy or value is connected to, the doing. Like even though it's a vibe, it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's so connected to moving forward. It's a forward moving virtue or value. It's like, let's get this done together. I'm eager to see you. I'm eager to acquire financial freedom. I'm eager to build my company to this level of, finance or whatever. And it's connected to people, things. It's very much connected to people, places, and things. Or it's not
So
that
then what would you
useful.
like to advise? What would you like to advise more in this? Because what
I
you're
think-
talking about is what is happening nowadays in the world. But in this scenario, what would you like to advise them?
I'd actually mentioned it earlier on when I was
Yes.
connecting the importance of acknowledging the self, the soul,
Yes.
and deepening in very intimate private relationship with God and beginning to really understand the mastery of karma. I think if the whole world, and I mean this, if the entire world chooses to become more reflective with the world behind their eyes, and they start to discern and look within themselves, what is a truth, what is an illusion, what gives joy, what they can toss out of themselves and out of their lives, and make that connection with the self, the soul, and God, the Supreme, there'd be such an amplification of such enthusiasm that soul will have no time to waste on looking at the defects of people, thinking about the defects of people, speaking about the defects of people, because they're on to bigger and better things. And when a soul is driven by such values, and also all the values offered by the Values and Spirituality Forum that takes place here all the time, can you imagine the kind of a success that emerges from souls who use their thoughts, words, and actions in a way that supports growth, benefit, development, progress, forward thinking, freedom, divinity, virtues, beauty, power? Just think about the contribution they would make on the planet. Nobody is eager to hurt somebody. Nobody wants to be eager to lie and cheat someone. That's a different topic. And that's not even a virtue. That's a different energy that is connected to body awareness. But if you're eager, my friends out there, you must be feeling the call of time in your spirit. And I'm sure your spirit must be asking you to pay more attention to what you're thinking and feeling, and to be able to make that connection to God when you've tapped into the right feelings, so that they can be amplified and you can start to trust your decisions, your world, the relationships that you forge around you are all about moving you forward. It's all about progress. It's all about enthusiasm.
Sorry, Sister Jenna, but there is a myth, in this,
Mhm.
because there was a pharmacist and he had a very blooming business of his pharmacy shops. He's got number of them, and then he started becoming spiritual and started, and then suddenly one day he just stops doing everything. And I just out of curiosity asked him that, why have you stopped doing everything? What stopped doing the spiritual endeavor? So he said, because I started feeling that I am losing my control on everything, and I am feeling I'm lost, and I have completely developed the disinterest. I mean, that's how he said. As you said, people should understand themselves and tune themselves with the Supreme. And, you were mentioning right now. So many people have this myth, if I'll start doing that, then what about my work? What about my targets? If I don't feel like doing that and I become eager only towards this direction, then they get very puzzled.
It's a part of the journey. You will get more detached. You will start to have a new awareness. You will start to see yourself differently. You will start to see others differently. And you will start to refine the way you've earned your money, spend your money, save your money. You'll begin to refine the way that you engage in your relationships, and it's different and it's new. And yes, at first it might be uncomfortable because you're not sure. But so far, no one has lost out becoming a better version of themselves. They've just actually let go of the things that were actually taking a lot from themselves. And being
Absolutely.
financially wealthy is a great thing. And I don't think no one should be poverty stricken at all. I think to be poverty stricken is a sin. I think to be financially abundant is a wealth, and it's a fortune, and it's a blessing. The only thing one has to transform is their interpretation towards it. And I think being eager to bring that energy into your wealth and your business and your family is a blessing to mankind.
Sister, do you have any case study, like how I mentioned about this myth, like that? Do you have any case study where eagerness has enabled someone to reach the height of success in some way?
I have definitely a lot of proof of looking at a lot of our senior yogis in the Brahma Kumaris culture, where they've been eager to see if they can embody the qualities and the virtues of God within them. And I've seen them firsthand, them applying that connection within themselves by their morning practice, where they would wake up early in the morning and have an intimate connection to the divine with themselves. Then they would have a regular morning study. Then they would eat a vegetarian meal 3 times a day. And throughout the day, they would pause for a minute or 3 minutes of silence every hour in the hour. And then by 7 p.m. to 7:30, they would sit and reflect on how their day was going. And then by 10 to 11 o'clock, the latest, they would go to bed. So the case study for me is figuring yourself out, understanding yourself, seeing the proof of the benefit of eagerness isn't just a one-time affair. Sometimes eagerness is a part of your nature that helps to keep pushing you ahead in life. And I've seen it over and over again. I've seen it in so many of our members in the Brahma Kumaris. But have I seen that outside of the Brahma Kumari unit? Yes, I have friends who are very close to me who are illuminaries in the world. And they've been eager to change the world. They've been eager to sustain their spiritual movement. They've been eager to finish their next best-selling book for New York Times. They've been eager. It is an energy in you. There are millions of people who have the proof that that energy works if they allow it, spiritually or even physically.
And the case study of the elders in Brahma Kumaris also involves a lot of work, on their side. They are very busy,
I think
active,
it's a lot of
activity.
work. I think that I can say for myself, if love is not flowing in me, just to get up from the chair is hard. But if there is a lot of love flowing in my nature, I don't care. Give me the mountain. I'll take it for you. Don't have a problem. Bring me 2 mountains. I'll take it. So again, it comes back to the eagerness connected to, are you, humanity out there? Are you eager to realize and recognize there is an energy that exists that is higher than you and wants to be with you on your journey? That there is this energy of God that we really are missing in terms of allowing it to work through us and make us into better citizens. I think if everybody recognizes that eagerness, the world would be a better place.
So true. It's so true. It was so nice. I mean, I got this chance of asking questions to you, but it was so involving and so practical, removing so many myths of the listeners that some people have segregated spirituality and the worldly matters, and their eagerness is always towards worldly matters. And you blended spirituality into the worldly matters in such a way that a person would be eager through their work, through their activity, through their choices, but to spiritually, enhance and grow from within, grow stronger, grow powerful, feel good about themselves. I think eagerness is a beautiful value used in this way on our path of living. I
Thank
think
you
we
so
can
much.
always bring out the best. Thank you so much, Jenna Ben. It was lovely, hearing you, listening to you, as always.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, Sister Krina. And it's funny because if you remember when we reconnected many years ago, I've been eager for us to do more things together in service, and without planning, without pushing, without strategizing or manipulating, the drama emerged this scene where
Yes.
finally my
Yes.
eagerness is being fulfilled, right?
Your thought
yes.
is very powerful.
It was the
your
vision.
thought is so powerful. I think
It
this
was
would
the
be the
vision.
last marking for our today's session, that if your thought is powerful, your eagerness will hit the
The
bullseye.
target.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Thank
So are there any, I think we're supposed to, if there are any questions, I think, for
Yes,
our
yes.
illustrious audience, I'm not sure.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sister Jenna and Sister Karina. Such a very insightful discussion. And I loved it. Sister Jenna, you said that the eagerness has to be future pulling. Or what is it? Is it temporary? So we all have to think about it. So there's a sister who is asking, she's thinking just how to experience, to see soul, and that soul is remembering the divine. I'm eager to know if my experience is working for me. I'm eager to achieve this, that my vibrations are spreading this far behind my eyes to the whole world. So can you help us how to increase that soul conscious practice and know the experiment and know that the eagerness is working?
Sister Karina, I think you'd be perfect to answer that question because of all of your years of teaching that.
Sure, Sister Karina.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, if you get trained in the right way of how you can practice soul consciousness and then link yourself with the Supreme, it has got a particular training for that. I mean, see, you can become curious and try by yourself, but sometimes then you get questions whether what you're experiencing is right or wrong. You need some sort of verifications too. So it's better that you go to the nearby center, Raj Yoga Center, and do the course of meditation in which you will learn both the aspects in a methodical way. And you will also have people to guide you in the beginning. And then, of course, you will independently meditate. And there will be group meditations also, which again will help you. So I think this would be the right way. If we will explain to you right now, it will be a very lengthy conversation. It can't just happen in just 2 minutes. It's a lifelong experience. So I think the better method would be that you should reach out to your nearby local center and do the course first. And then you can contact Sister Jenna for more guidelines, and she'll be very happy to help you out. Thank you.
I'd like to just add, just start. Whoever asked the question, what you've asked is something where the experts are still working on trying to accomplish, where their connection to God is spreading a wave of vibration around the world to make it better. But something I know that's helped me, even if my practice doesn't feel very strong that day, I wish people well. And if you just try to walk around in the world today or just in your day and wish people's lives to be benefited, you'll feel for yourself how that energy works. And you'll gain experience from that practice, which will gain your confidence in realizing when the soul has a connection with the divine, what it would feel like when that energy starts to spread far and wide. Okay? So good luck on that adventure.
Thank you so much. So this eagerness to experience the spirituality will not happen just now, as Sister Karina mentioned, but need some practice. Still questions are on that. Another sister is asking, you explained it actually, but what would you advise for new beginners who are highly eager to imbibe BK teachings into their holistic lifestyle, but they're hesitant to follow their code of conduct, dress code, or they do not want to put themselves in specific grouping leveling?
Don't worry. The BKs won't try to brainwash you into anything. I used to go to the center with my makeup. My driver would drop me off. I would have my shorts on, high heel shoes, everything. My hair was down and flowing. And that sister would just let me in. Om Shanti. Welcome. She would care less what I was wearing, I tell you. And there was something very beautiful in that because I just wanted the peace and just wanted to see the sisters. I just wanted to taste their food. I just wanted to give something in their donation box. I just wanted to see if the sisters need anything. And that was enough for me at that time. And then I started to send my friends to the center. I said, you guys go. This is good for you. It's not for me, but it'll be really good for you. So I had all my friends go to the center. And then I still stayed connected. I still love the sisters. I still remembered how my mother was such a great example. And then I had my trance, out of body, vision, experience, awakening. And then it was time. Just like the story of the man that Sister Karina shared, who was at a party, wealthy, loved everything, and realized he went into the attic and he didn't want to do it anymore. When it's your time, it'll be your time. And you don't have to fight against it or force yourself to be in it. Go. Karina Ben also shared one of the things she used to look forward to, eager for, was to spend time with the center's sisters. And that used to help her to grow and develop. And so just move. Don't worry about all the sari and the disciplines and the principles. Go because your heart tells you to go, because you know this is good for me. And if it ever becomes your time, nothing can stop it. It'll happen.
I would like to add something to this. Can I?
Yes, yes.
Okay. When I came in contact with this spiritual organization, I recognized the white sari or the white dress as a uniform, just like a school environment or the facilitators or the teachers, so-called teachers, have the same type of appearance, like a uniform. So I never saw the white dress as being a code of conduct for everybody. It was like for the teachers, for the surrendered people, to recognize them when they are on the road, when they are outside, when they are going somewhere. They're so easily recognized. Are you from the Brahma Kumaris? They would ask. So I felt it's just for the recognition sort of discipline for the people who have dedicated themselves in Brahma Kumaris. Yes, those who are coming daily or some days to the center, when they started liking the white, and they said, oh, I would love to wear white. And then they started wearing themselves. Nobody was ever forced that this is our code of conduct and you have to be in white. This was never been told. So wearing white is like a uniform and it's not really a code of conduct for everybody coming to the center. Secondly, everything else, which is a part of the discipline, an organization, if it wants to last over a long period of time, then at the core, it requires strength. It requires continuous fueling because we're human beings. And since we are in diversity, we have different interests. Everybody's energy works in a particular direction. So to keep it unified, the energy to be unified, and to have a strong foundation of grounding for the organization, because it's going to spread all over the world, but it has to be grounded. So certain code of conducts is only for the grounding of the organization, and it's not a strong order for everybody who comes. So I just wanted to clarify that, because many people have this myth again. If I go there, I have to observe all these code of conducts, otherwise I won't be accepted. But it's not so. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Krina. Yeah, so at least like as an organization to be grounded, very beautifully said. And I think Sister Jenna brought up really from her real life story. I'm sure the sister is motivated because she says she's eager, imbibe. So yeah, go with the feelings. Like Sister Jenna said, you can be yourself as you feel. But if you go, then you can experience. So I'll just ask one more question, just last question, Sister Jenna, that as you said, that the eagerness has to be future pulling. I love that. Maybe if you can elaborate a little bit more, that sometimes we don't know the line. Am I going? The eagerness is short term and going, I'm being pulled. It's taking me somewhere that will not be my destination, that will leave me dissatisfied. How would I know that my eagerness is accurate?
In our teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, we have 3 pieces of paper that we read every morning called the Murli. And the Murli is a reminder, a guidance, a love letter from the divine and Brahma Baba, who founded the Brahma Kumaris. And I think that where I connect my eagerness is my eagerness in alignment with the guidance and the directions given to me by the divine. And sometimes it takes some time to understand what God tells you because you're so jumbled up inside. You don't necessarily have the wisdom to discern if this is coming from me or if this is coming from the divine, from God, from Baba. And so what happens with that is over, pretty much long period of time, you do become aware that if I do this, this will happen. If I do that, this will happen. These are universal laws. So I believe that the eagerness in you that has the willingness, as Krina mentioned, to apply certain truths that you're receiving from above, you can trust it. So the eagerness connected to truth, wisdom, spiritual knowledge, if it's moving you towards implementing, applying these 2 ideas in whatever you have to do, you can trust it. If somehow you feel that the energy is, again, it turns into a desire or an expectation, whatever, and you're compromising what we call in the Brahma Kumaris Srimad, advice from the divine, the wisdom, the spirituality that you're getting every day. If somehow it's compromising that, and you are feeling this sort of a unfulfilled attachment to something you've not had, but you feel you want, you feel like it's very difficult, you feel conflicted, you'll be very dualistic. It'll keep pulling you further back and you feel like you want to progress. You will not feel the satisfaction that you're expecting to feel. Then if you've had that experience once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, then you will be the knower of that experience. And then your discernment will say, I can't keep going in that direction anymore. So then you keep now feeding more eagerness with wisdom, and you will trust it's moving you forward into growth and development. Does that make sense?
Totally
Did
makes
that help?
sense. Very, very deep insight. Eagerness with wisdom, and know that experience that is taking you to a dissatisfaction space of dissatisfaction means back,
Right.
and it has to be
Right.
aligned.
Right.
Thank you so much. Sister Krina, you would like to add anything? Sister Jenna gave wonderful answer.
Yes, absolutely. It's full. Thank you.
Much. I'm sure there is some meditation that Sister Jenna has lined up for us. So before I go to vote of thanks to Dr. Ashok Mehta, somebody's asking if we can get that video, the meditation video, Sister Jenna, if you could share, we can share with all.
Yes.
And,
I'll ask Brother Santosh to send that in an email, and then I think he'll be able to send it to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And also somebody's asking, are we allowed to contact Sister Jenna for further guidance, understanding, upliftment?
Sure. I'm here in service for all souls. And I don't know if this is right or wrong, or if it's accurate or not. I know we all need time to process and change ourselves. However, I do wish that when souls really come for advice and guidance, you really take it in as a truth that will move you forward. And it's not just, like surfing social media, but it's that you really take a pause and you really take it in, because deep down you have this eagerness to change. And so, yes, contact me if you really are interested in that, because I feel like our time and energy is so valuable right now. We don't want to waste a second of it. So yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So anybody who likes to have Sister Jenna's contact, please send us an email. Then we can. Thank you. So now I will invite Dr. Mehta. Thank you.
Ayashok Bhai, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Yes, we enjoyed the dialogue. I think dialogues take you deeper inside, whether it's from a curiosity to eagerness, or search for truth to eagerness. But eagerness, I think, triggers a progress, both internal and external. I have seen the external progress in science from the eagerness to bring about a change. For example, as a surgeon, when I was in my early years, in the early 60s, 64, 65, we used to do a lot of experiments on heart transplants in the animals, in the dogs. And not realizing that through experiments that we were doing in the lab would become a reality in the next year and a half or two. And that's what happens. I think many of us, we want to know about the God, about so many unknowns. Why should some people, live a very rich life, and somebody has to live in abstract poverty? And then we all talk about the principles of karma. But this is, again, people do not realize how it functions, in the practice. Because, and this is what is our eagerness to understand, eagerness to go back to the unknown. I think you have brought it out very beautifully, especially in our progress in spirituality, to know. And we are fortunate that we have had the opportunity of being in this organization of Brahma Kumaris, where the truth comes directly from the Supreme. I think that's first thing is one has to accept that this kind of opportunity to quench our thirst or eagerness to know the truth is available right here in front of us. Both of you have brought it out and so beautifully. I think your life is such a dedicated and you've done so much of service in 40 years or more, both of you. I think we have enjoyed to know the beautiful exposition of the discovery through the eagerness. Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Sister Claudia, good. You have to unmute.
Thank you very much to Sister Gina and Sister Krina. It was very nice to hear both of you. And I like to tell Sister Gina that also when I came the beginning of my Brahma Kumaris, I want to master the karma, studies of karma. And then up to now, I'm still eager to be a master of that because I figured out that karma was the base of my life. So then from that time, very at the beginning, I start be eager. I'm still looking at that. And I think it's like if a doctor is from doctor of the body or doctor of the soul, we are all eager to make the other ones happy and healthy. So I think that eager is always on the like you said, when there's truth, then we do not have to compromise because we are trying our best. So thank you very much to both of you. You really brought some lights into this topic. So thank you to be with us today.
And on behalf of everyone, thank you so much. The whole seniors sitting in front of us and such insight, I always say, it touches our hearts and really stays with us to guide. So thank you. I'll just quickly do the announcement of upcoming program, and then we'll move to our meditation experience with Sister Jenna and Sister Krina. So we will do the eagerness values workshop on eagerness after 1 week, as we always do. So on Saturday, 3rd June, morning 7 a.m. for West Coast time, that's 7:30 p.m. India time. We'll have Sister Indu from UK this time to take us through the insightful talk and meditation further on eagerness, and we'll have experiential exercises in the first hour. So please join us then. And our next session is episode 67 on helpfulness, Upkarita. For that, we'll have Sister Sashi and Sister Daksha from UK, and they will take us through a conversation and insight on this value. So it is after 2 weeks on Saturday, 10th June, same time, 7:30 a.m. West Coast, US, Canada, and 8 p.m. India time. So please note it and please join us then. And you can check our website at vihatha.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca for all the upcoming programs info, and our videos are available on our YouTube channel. So today's video also you can get that, and I'm sure we all need to revisit, review the classes to bring benefit to ourselves. Thank you, everyone. And before we go for meditation, we want to take the video, photograph. Sister Krina, are you still with us?
Yes.
If you, thank you. Oh, we can't see your video on.
Yes.
So is it okay? Because always the participants request to have a photograph with the guest. So everyone, please open your video. We'll take a quick virtual photo. Thank you, everyone. Done, and now we are all ready to experience that deeper side, eagerness.
Well, actually, I don't know if Krina wanted to do a live commentary, but we just had the Om Shanti meditation song at the end of our program today. So
I think we should play that.
Okay, then. So we'll just do that. We'll do that. So to everyone out there, thank you so much to the Values and Spirituality team, Dr. Ashok Mehta, You know, you're one of my heroes. And thank you, Sister Karina, for making our time together so beautifully orchestrated. So thanks so much.
Thank you from my side too. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Let's go into an Om Shanti experience. Let your wings fly far and wide. Let go of anything that you feel is uncertain for you. Your doubts, your waste, negativity, never thinking you're good enough. Don't get trapped in your past. Be very present in this moment for you. Recognize that this is your greatest gift offered to you at this time. Use it. Take it wholeheartedly. Own it. Let this be your time to forge forward and make better on your existence. So take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Breathe in again. Exhale. Let's go into Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sister Jenna. Thank you, Sister Krina.
Thank you.
Again, see you again.